Council Bluffs Police say they arrested 5 suspects in connection to 2 robberies from last night. Around 10:30, police had to be called out to Fast Mart at 9th Avenue and Main Street. That is where they found a group of people reportedly robbing a man of his wallet and cell phone. Then about 40 minutes later, there was yet another robbery, this one at 11th Street and 2nd Avenue. In that case, a group of people stole a man's phone, wallet, and bicycle. A short time later, police found the suspect's vehicle at a residence near 10th Street and 6th Avenue. That is where they arrested Jermany Clark, Kendall McNeese, Janelle Lewis, Jaylin McNeese, and a 17-year-old boy. Additionally, detectives are processing several pieces of evidence that they think may possibly link the suspects to other recent robberies in Council Bluffs.